Can this sort of location be serious subject matter for a landscape photographer? Well, let's get a definition of landscape from the dictionary, shall we? Landscape. All the visible features of an area of land often considered in terms of their aesthetic appeal. And yeah, I am reading it from a script as well. So this is the seaside. But what do I mean by the seaside? Well, reading from my dictionary definition again. A place by the sea, especially a beach area or holiday resort. So let's have a look at some of the things you can expect to find at a seaside location. Well, the nice thing about the seaside is it's very, very varied. You have the likes of beach cafes. Now, beach cafes have wonderful signage like this, which really stands out, very bold and strong. And of course, there's the sea itself and rocks and pebbles. And I love this sort of material. And one of the nice things is all the structures you have around the beach. People take shelter in these. They make marvellous subject matter. Now, slipways are another favourite of mine, and signage. Bins, who'd have thought a bin would provide an abstract for my camera? And I'll tell you about the camera later in the video. You get a lot of interesting weather by the seaside and a lot of shapes and forms which do suit, I think, the square format I'm using here. It's just, I don't know, it's quite different to your normal landscape material. I mean, you've got beach art and wonderful weather, very strong weather. These are the famous landed no goats. Just random scenes, but the pier has to be one of my favourite seaside subjects. You have wonderful amusements and the big wheel. I love shooting big wheels. I don't know why. Maybe it's the geometry of them. The shape's fantastic. And it is very evocative of the seaside as well. I mean, look at the colours and the shapes, which obviously is shot in black and white here. But fantastic material. Now, I walk down the pier, and why not? Because I love some of the old pavilions and the structures you get. Look at the shapes of those. I mean, they are marvellous, Victorian shapes. And I've shot these from high up on the headland. But yeah, marvellous. So yes, this is a landscape, and it's one that's often ignored by other photographers. And I think they're missing something personally. Some amazing scenery and opportunities here to be had. Now you get old coaches full of people out enjoying themselves at the seaside. Now, this would have been a beautiful location years ago, and it's got a bit derelict now, but that's good material for photographers. It's quite a juxtaposition of happy seaside and dereliction. Now, also getting up onto promenades and elevated walkways gives you a much better view out across the pier, out across the sea. And again, suits the square format, I think, with a bit of vignetting in there. It was quite a choppy day today, but I was really enjoying myself. I don't know, maybe it's the fresh sea air, it goes to my head. And look at these here, well underexposed with the rather crude camera I'm using, but I don't mind. I just have great fun when I'm out by the seaside. I don't know whether it's the seaside atmosphere, but I don't take myself too seriously. I just enjoy it for what it is, and what it is great fun. Now, it's worth mentioning that I've shot this sort of material many, many times in the past, and I have never failed to come back with a smile on my face. I'm absolutely buzzing today. And another good thing as well is there are always cafes nearby, and it's a lot easier than slogging up a mountain. Now, camera choice too will have a big impact on the way you photograph the seaside and the sort of mood you're trying to set and the atmosphere that you're trying to capture for the viewer. Which is why I'm here with my lovely little Holga, a 6x6 medium format camera that produces dreamy soft images that I think evoke a sort of childhood memory of seasides. It's sort of something your mind plays tricks on you when you're older. It sort of vignettes everything, and this is what this camera does for me when I'm shooting here. Absolutely perfect. And it's worth mentioning as well that all this sunshine and fresh sea air is very good for your mental health and your well-being, with plenty of seagulls added in. And of course it wouldn't be the seaside without getting too close to the waves and getting just a little bit wet. Fortunately the Holga is plastic, so no corrosion there then. Oh yes, is this landscape photography? Well, I think it is, personally. And even if you don't class it as classical landscape photography, I love it. It's a real shot in the arm. If you want to see more from this location in the square format, have a look at this video I did a while back, all about square shooting, Holga, pinhole, etc.